Hi everyone, it's Prita with Pageant Professors. I'm here with Eny Oh of In the Eye of the Beholder EL. Eny, thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to have you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, for those of you that don't know, Eny is the official stylist for the Miss DC USA pageant. And recently we heard from the DC USA title holders that they got to sit down with you for a private tutorial on how to master their look for their upcoming national competition. So we wanted to kind of sit down, pick your brain, learn some of your secrets, and share with our audience what you shared with the title holders.
All right.
So let's get started. First, tell me about your company and how you got started.
Okay. Well, In the Eye of the Beholder EL for short, is a head-to-toe fashion styling company and event planning firm. And I would say I got started spur of the moment. I had went to Los Angeles, California one year for All-Star Weekend, and I had met with a celebrity stylist. And I've always admired her, like always, and I actually got a chance to get to know her better and spend, time with her. And it just dawned on me that, I could put together a company of all of the things that I like to do. And that's literally what I did. Like, as soon as I left California and came back to Maryland, I was like, I have the name of my company, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is how I'm gonna do it. And that's how it started, and I haven't looked back since.
That's amazing. You have to create the job that you love,
Yes.
right? So now one of your areas of specialty, in addition to everything else, is you are a very talented makeup artist.
Yes.
You did, for any of you that saw the Miss DC USA contestants with their official Photoshoot and their stage makeup, you were doing all of their looks and they were absolutely fantastic. So how did you get started in the makeup world and what's your background there?
Well, I always tell people I've been doing makeup all my life. I remember from when I was a child, I would go out to Sephora, I would spend, all of my money to the point that my parents had cut off my credit card because I spent all of my money just buying makeup brushes and everything. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. I just knew that I liked makeup. I played on my face. I taught myself different techniques. But once I realized that I really wanted to become a professional makeup artist, I took it seriously and I became a MAC makeup artist.
Okay.
And I worked there for, I would say, a couple of months to perfect some of my skills. Right. I also worked under Kevin James Bennett, the Emmy Award makeup artist.
Okay.
I learned a lot of different techniques and skills from him. So I owe a lot of my, artistry to him.
Wow.
And it's just a lot of practice. I just practice.
So now you made the jump, obviously working with other makeup artists or other clients. Mm-hmm. Kind of a different look, and then you've got pageants, which is kind of an anomaly in and of itself. How did you learn the looks that work in the pageant world? How did you kind of train yourself to make that stage look just perfect?
Well, what I did, once I found out that I would be working with DC USA, I started going to a lot of different pageants, a lot of different states, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina. I just went to a whole bunch of different states, sat in front and just looked at all of their faces to see, okay, well, these are the looks that they do. This is what I see the teens doing. This is what I see the misses doing. I watched YouTube videos. I talked to one of my really close friends, Cammie Crawford, and she...
Miss Teen USA.
Yes, Miss Teen USA 2010. And she told me, certain looks that teens should wear and certain looks that misses should wear. And I just took all the information, the research that I had gathered, and I just figured out what works and what doesn't work.
So that's a great place to go. So what have you found, obviously I know there's lots of details in it, but kind of in a nutshell, what have you found is the best looks for Miss and the best looks for teens? And what's the big difference between the two?
Well, no one wants to see a really sexy teen. So teens should be more light on the makeup. That doesn't mean light, not meaning full coverage. That just means not a heavy smoky eye, not a smoky eye, period.
No bright red lips.
No bright red lips, no bright pink lips. Just keep everything natural and neutral.
But I like what you said. So teens still need to be looking for a heavy
full
coverage because of the stage, right?
Full coverage. The makeup needs to be full coverage all around the board.
Good.
People think natural makeup just means, they're going to take a little bit of powder.
Yes.
No shade to Bare Minerals. But Bare Minerals is not what you want to use
on
stage. You want to use a full coverage makeup. I love Cover FX. It's perfect for full coverage. Yeah. MAC has really good full coverage makeup. It all depends on their skin. your skin type. So when I have different clients come in, I figure out what products will work best with them, what full coverage makeup works best for them, etc.
So in your arsenal, do you kind of keep some Cover FX and MAC?
Yes.
Or okay.
My makeup kit is it's huge. I have all different types of products, all different full coverage products to, you know, natural powder makeups, even bare minerals. I have everything. But for the stage, you definitely want to use full coverage makeup.
Now, for the Miss contestants,
you can do more of a smoky eye and more of a heavily contoured and highlighted face. That's perfect for the Miss. I still wouldn't suggest a bright red lip or a bright pink lip, but you can choose a darker lip. You can choose a darker lip.
So it seems like you have a lot more flexibility as a Miss, whereas teen can't get can't get too crazy. You want to keep it nice and like light pink colors,
light pink, nudes. I wouldn't take anything darker than the pink that I'm probably wearing on my lips right now.
Okay. Yes. Okay, good. That's a good good threshold for them. So now let's talk about, since you also did the Eny photo shoot, what kinds of tricks did you do on the contestants there? So when these contestants are preparing for their photos during pageant weekend, what type of advice do you have for them in terms of doing their makeup for those types of things? So is that different than the makeup they would do on the stage?
Yeah, that is different. And when it comes to photo shoots for different clients, it's what they want. So I remember, like, for Candace Dillard.
First runner-up at Miss DC USA.
Love Candace.
Love her.
I remember when she had came in for her photo shoot with Eny Oh and I, you know, she said she wanted it to be natural. She wanted to make sure her face was perfectly contoured, and she wanted to have a smoky eye, but she didn't want to have like a bright red lip or anything like that, opposed to another client I had worked with Eny Oh, who said she wanted to be more glammed up with like a red lip and, you know, a smoky eye and a contoured face as well. It just depends on the client.
So speaking of contouring, we've done a lot of tutorials to kind of tell the girls how to contour with powder to get it a little bit lighter, or contour with cream and liquids. What is your favorite method of contouring?
I use a powder from MAC called Blunt. It's actually a blush, and that's my favorite. But in my kit, I also use different blushes. I even use some foundations to do the contouring. It just all depends. I've even used eyeshadow sometimes to do the contouring.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. So we've always told our girls as well that no shimmer for the stage, right? With your contouring.
And the highlight. No shimmer underneath your eye for your highlight, just for the mere fact when you get on stage with those bright lights, all you're going to see is the glitter here. And I also say no glitter, sorry for that finger. The highlight under your eyebrow should not be a shimmer either. It should be a matte color so it doesn't reflect light.
So you went to all of these pageants doing your research. As a makeup artist sitting there, you obviously kind of can pinpoint and see different things that the untrained eye wouldn't. So as someone that was in the audience, what were kind of the biggest mistakes that you saw some girls doing on stage that you've since told your clients to correct and not do?
That's one thing about pageants. I can never go to a pageant now and just sit there and just look and be like, oh, this is amazing. I'm always like, let me look at the makeup. Make sure that's okay. Let me make sure her hair looks good. It's to the point that sometimes, even if they're not my clients and I have the opportunity to talk to them, I'd be like, you looked amazing. You looked fabulous on stage, but you could work on this. You can change this. But the things that I have noticed are, there's not enough blending that goes on. There's not enough blending. You'll see a girl who is trying to achieve like a cut and crease, which means, I always say like the alligator eyes, where they put the black on the sides of their eye, like the lid to here, and they don't blend it. It looks like they literally take a marker and just put a line like this. You need to make sure you blend that line up. You should never see any harsh lines at all. You should never see any harsh lines. And then with the highlight, sometimes the highlight is just too much, to the point where it just looks white underneath the eye. And that's all. So you want to make sure that you find the perfect highlight color for your skin. Like your highlight would be different from my highlight. From what I have seen going to different pageants, I don't know who's working backstage, if it's doing, or if girls are doing their makeup themselves, but it looks like sometimes there's one highlight color going around and everyone has that highlight, and that's not what you want.
So do you have advice for girls? Because I know that when I compete in some pageants, you had the option of the makeup artist that the pageant used or doing your own, and a lot of times I did my own. Do you have recommendations for girls that are doing it themselves, how to find the right highlighter, or how to find, I've tried to use kind of 2 or 3 shades lighter than my skin tone and 2 or 3 shades darker than my skin tone for the contour. Do you have similar kind of parameters?
I would say for stage, I would say maybe 4 to 5 shades.
Okay.
4 to 5 shades, and then just blend. Just really, really blend. Like if you put it on and you see it's too dark or too light, just blend it out. It's better to start off with a little bit than to start with too much and have to get rid of it.
That's what we said. It's easier to add than it is to remove.
Yeah.
Okay guys, that's it for this training video. We really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, that's awesome because we have so much more great pageant instructional content just waiting for you. In fact, we put together an awesome training course called The Secrets to Mastering Your Onstage Question. Now the best thing about this course is it's not only going to show you how to master your onstage question, but it's also going to show you how to really step up your game during the interview portion of your competition. And we all know how important interview is, right? Now here's the good news, is getting this training course is super simple and completely free. But you do have to be part of our exclusive email subscriber list, so you have to make sure to sign up. Now if you're watching this on YouTube, all you have to do is click the hyperlink below this video and it's going to take you back to our website where you can enter in your email address and get immediate access to the course. If you're watching this video on another site, make sure to go back to pageantprofessors.com and you'll be able to opt in right from the homepage. Now, as always, we value your privacy, so you don't have to worry about us selling your email address or spamming you. All we're going to do is make sure that we're giving you the latest updates on the greatest pageant instruction that we have. So go ahead, sign up, and I'll see you on the other side.